Hi, this is Dr. Maria Hopp at the Littleton Clinic. I am here today with Dale Halley, and we are talking with Dale today because he has been such an inspiration to us, because he is one of those people who has really taken the message to heart about how to be more healthy and how to reverse his chronic disease, primarily through using lifestyle modifications. So we were going to ask him some questions about how he did this. Just because I think sometimes it's good to see, one, that it's possible, it's not easy, but that it can be done. So, thank you for coming today, Mr. Halley. So, if you could first share with us, when were you diagnosed with diabetes and what was that like for you? What was going on in your life at that time?
I was first diagnosed 2 years ago this month with diabetes. In hindsight, I was showing symptoms at least a year before that. I was working on a construction project and I was working on the road 5 days a week. So that's not real conducive to some healthy lifestyle choices. When I was first told, it was somewhat devastating. At the end of my career, I was told that I could die of horrible complications associated with diabetes, and that was a real wake-up call for me.
Okay. So then you were diagnosed, and then what was kind of the next thing that happened? Like, were you prescribed medications, or like what happened after that?
Yes, I was prescribed metformin and lisinopril to protect my heart, metformin to lower my glucose, and one other drug. It was not directly related to it. And I began taking those medications religiously, and I started modifying my diet some. I was told to reduce my carb intake.
Okay.
And I did, but at that time, I was instructed to eat, as a male, 40 to 50 grams of carbs per meal, plus snacks in between.
Okay.
Which in hindsight was quite a bit.
Was maybe more than you could tolerate at the time. So, and it's not uncommon for somebody to be diagnosed with diabetes and be like on 3 medications pretty quick off of the bat. Like that's a pretty common thing. Like the average diabetic we think takes about 5 medications. You're actually under the average with that. So, and yours was a pretty serious situation. Your hemoglobin A1C was very, very high.
Yeah,
so
you're twice what it should be.
Okay. So then, at the time, and then were you overweight? Did you have any other issues like that?
Yes, I was overweight. Most people didn't consider me overweight when they looked at me because of my height. I started losing weight about a year before I was diagnosed, and I continued losing weight for a total of 3 years up until a couple months ago. So I lost pretty much 25% of my body mass over that 3-year period.
Okay. So like up until now, I feel like this has kind of been like the fairly typical course of this. But then things kind of changed. How did you decide, like, okay, like I can do better than this? Like what I can do, like to kind of turn this around? Like how did you make that like jump?
Well, I made incremental changes. I guess it was my way of doing things in life. I'm an engineer, and I like to measure things so I can change things as part of my training. So I tested my glucose twice a day, every day, and I could see a trend going down. And so I started cutting out sugars, but to a point. But I was still working in an environment where people had candy on their desks, and I would continue stealing candy, usually out of stress or boredom, or just to get up off of my desk, eating chips and things at my desk, and that was not good in hindsight. I did reduce my carbs, but I kept incrementally reducing things because it was hard to give up sugar at first, so I started doing alternatives, and then once I got used to that, then I'd make additional changes. I even had a doctor tell me, before I met Maria Hopp, that cheating on and eating a little bit of sugar once in a while was fine. It's not. It's poison for me.
Okay.
So when I met Dr. Hopp, and she asked me, what do I eat? And I mentioned, well, I usually have a slice or 2 of bread a day, and I still drink occasional beer. She said, Dale, cut that out. Well, I'd already decided to cut out the beer 2 days before, so I cut out the bread. So now I have minimal carbs, whereas I was told to eat 40 to 50 carbs per meal. I'm doing 40 to 50 carbs per day.
Okay.
I think I hold pretty true to that most days. I don't need any refined sugars. I don't eat any grains at this point, as much as I love some grains, oatmeal and others. I eat a lot more monosaturated fats.
Okay.
Avocados every day.
Avocados, nuts,
They're
like
very
okay.
filling. I eat a lot of nuts at Whole Foods. I don't eat anything out of the box anymore.
Okay. So then, do you feel hungry, deprived, or like has that some of that craving that you had for sugar gone away?
Oh, it's definitely gone away. In fact, sometimes when I eat foods that have sugar in them I don't expect it, it's like, why does somebody put sugar in that chili? Because I don't expect to have sugar in chili, and at the smallest amounts I can taste. So my treats now are Greek yogurt with I smash up a few raspberries in the bottom of the bowl, and there's enough sugar and berries that, for me, that's a sweet treat. Most people might find it, they eat sugar all the time, lacking it, but I don't. I find it very satisfying. And to answer your original question, no, I'm not hungry. I eat roughly 3 times a day. I might snack with some nuts in between meals, but I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I have a healthy appetite, but I don't feel like anything's lacking, and I think that has a lot to do with the monosaturated fats.
Good. I think you're right.
Large amounts of fat, they're very filling and they're very satisfying for a long period of time. Whereas when I used to eat sugar, as soon as I put it down, I want it.
You more. There you go. So it's and it's non-intuitively obvious that eating those good fats is kind of what makes us feel satisfied. It also helps control your diabetes for sure. So that would be a good tip for people, I think, is that fat kind of got you through that, and then having some of the berries
and I believe it was a little over. Well, it's actually about 5 months ago. Dr. Hopp agreed to cut my metformin in half, and my glucose levels continued to go down, and we discussed it a couple months ago again, and I quit taking all of my medications completely.
So you were like a huge success story. Like, that is amazing. So you were very serious diabetic on 3 different medications, and you are now on no medications with completely normal labs. Yes. Like, that's fantastic.
Well, even as I cut back on metformin and quit altogether, my glucose levels improved to the point where, like you said, I'm in a normal range now, which, and all the health benefits associated with it. I had a lot of classic symptoms. My vision was a mess 2 years ago. I'd actually had it tested before I was diagnosed, and my focal point was changing by a foot or more from one day to the next. I had tingling in my extremities and some pain. There's all the classic symptoms, and those are all gone at this point. My vision's returned to normal. There's a little bit of leftover numbness in one toe, but I think that's probably nothing. It's not getting worse. It's gotten a little bit better. So that's it. And I feel healthier than I had in 20 years. My wife and I started walking 2 months ago.
Awesome.
And as of Monday, in the last 8 weeks, we've hiked over 100 miles.
That's perfect. Great.
And I'm not saying that's a driver of it, but I feel so good that it's something I look forward to.
Well, that's the message that we wanted to share, is that not only have you improved your health and decreased your future risk, but you feel better at the same time. So that's a huge thing. And
there's downsides to taking drugs. They all have side effects, and I feel my mental clarity is as good as it's been in over 20 years.
Okay. So what would be your rally cry for those people who are trying to achieve what you've achieved? What would you say to them?
I guess I practice at this because I keep telling people what they should do. And, making large changes to your diet all at once is very tough for most people to do. I didn't even try to. Mine was a more incremental approach. So make incremental changes to your diet. If you fall off the wagon, just get back on. Don't beat yourself up about it. And then just keep checking your health and making small changes. And I found that I would get used to the small change. And then I would try something else, and I'd get used to that. I've given up foods I thought I would never give up.
So you were able to do that?
I was able to do it. And I think weight loss is a big part of reversing.
Kind of.
I mean, it's diet and weight loss. And diet in terms of what you eat, eating healthy foods and things that aren't going to spike your glucose.
So it all goes together.
It all goes together, and losing weight. And as an engineer, I actually graphed my weight loss with my reduction in glucose, and there's a definite correlation there. I actually continued losing weight up until almost 2 months ago, and then I've actually gained some weight back, which I was getting too thin.
Good. Okay.
But it was like my body had done a reset, getting off the medications, and like I said, I'm healthy and have been forever.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, like I said, true success story. So thank you for sharing with us. It's very inspiring. Absolutely. So yes. All right. Take care.